thing that surprised me the most is like genuinely almost visa officer question गर्ने सबै कुरा you listen and you listen to like the answers that people are saying as well. Privacy चाहिँ pretty much zero थियो. And so in that sense अलिकति nerve breaking नि हुन सक्छ because that day अलिकति हुन्छ नि there were not much approvals happening.
Right.
Person is maybe saying all the right answers and still not getting the visa भन्दाखेरि आफूलाई पनि strike.
From pink slip to getting a visa after 1 month, that's what this student had to experience, and today I'm going to interview him. He's going to share all the information about his journey and what happened. Now, to protect his privacy, I'm not going to share his name or any identifying information. There's only going to be audio of him. So this is purely for informational purposes to guide students who are interested, who will be applying for US visa soon. If you need guidance with US visa, contact me. Information below. Yeah. So let's watch the interview. Plus 2 मा चाहिँ तिमीले कुन सब्जेक्टहरु लिएर पढेको थियौ?
मैले चाहिँ I did science थियो मेरो mostly science थियो, so it consisted of physics, chem, but then I didn't do bio, मैले computer science गरेको थिएँ.
Okay.
And then of course math, English भइहाल्यो.
Right. अनि त्यसपछि तिम्रो चाहिँ what are your plans to study in US?
So मेरो अहिले brief idea चाहिँ it's a double major in CS and business, international business or econ.
Okay, no, that's a great combo. Okay. Ani, so let's talk about the visa preparation. I know, okay. So तिमीले चाहिँ अनि कसरी visa prepare गर्यो भनेर यसो भनिदिन्छौ?
So of course I had known you through our school visits or like general online presence. So I approached you initially. And of course we had our regular mock sessions देखि लिएर general मेरो जानलाको युनिको research, a very in-depth research and everything.
Right.
And so of course that was one side, but apart from that मैले general of trends like the shorts, the TikToks you see online, त्यो पनि general review गरेर कस्तो खालको चाहिँ what does the visa officer really want to listen खालको perspective बाट नि गए.
Right.
Like the general rule of thumbs जस्तै अब memorized answer is a big red flag, or of course there was of course there's this one side, but also I'll get the in-depth through like college research that also
right.
it gave me this insight and it really told the visa officer कि like अलि well researched छु हैन त्यतिकै apply गरे हैन भन्ने खालको aspect product.
Good. अनि just to give context, अब हामी I think तिम्रो visa हामी तिमीले चाहिँ we started this around end of Jan तिर I think हैन अनि त्यसपछि अनि end of Jan अनि तिम्रो चाहिँ visa interview was like towards the end of February, so almost a month we spent. अनि we sometimes early on we spent a bit more time. In total I would say कति 6 to 8 hours जति त बितायो होला हैन. Some calls were on average हरेकचोटि भेट्दा त 1 घण्टा जति कल हुन्थ्यो हैन. अनि त्यसपछि yeah, and then additionally we started with like in-depth looking at like the American university systems, how it works in general, I know. And which most students, even like the really good ones, I know, they don't have like good understanding, I know. Why do you think I started like from that point?
I think that is like the necessity in some sense, because we are used to the Nepali education system, SE, NEP,
right?
So we don't really understand how credit system works in the United States or like overall internationally. But generally you're studying a particular major, so you think you're just doing subjects related to it. So if I'm studying let's say computer science, then I'll only be doing subjects related to our programming, coding, some statistics, maths.
Right.
But I think the reality is different from what I learned from you. Like I have to study a variety of different subjects, some which are totally not related with the major I'm studying to.
Right.
So this is new information for me, and experience like early on prerequisites Thapa would be better.
Right.
And not just that, credit like how much classes you need to take to get the degree. I mean, any counselor help, but like generally, if you're coming like Ali prepared, then that's always a good sign. Like Ali accelerate, that would be a good thing. So yeah.
Yeah. And not just for uni, and just for like visa purposes ko lagi pani ta aba you want to come up as like someone who really understands how the academic system works and so you can give
हजुर
like very confident answers अनि त्यसपछि yeah, so both for visa and also for future, because like obviously I help students. I want to see them succeed, not just visa, but obviously like college ma gaera pani I want them to succeed and do well. And any most students
हजुर
they don't get it. Okay? Even the good ones I've seen, and I've mentored many
yeah
students. बुझेकै हुँदैन हैन अनि I also gave you homeworks, I guess, between the sessions.
yes
What kind of work did I assign you? And
सो अब होमवर्क भनेर एकदम लाइक होमवर्क कि एसे नै लेख्ने खालको होमवर्क भन्दा नि
right,
जेनरल रिसर्च खालको थियो लाइक भनौँ न लाइक स्टुडेन्ट एक्टिभिटी स्टुडेन्ट लाइफको बारे यसो कलेजको पढ्ने यसो लाइक डिफ्रेन्ट क्लब्स द्याट द युनिभर्सिटी अफर्सदेखि लिएर अब द फ्याकल्टी द्याट एम इन्ट्रेस्टेड इन जुन सब्जेक्टको फ्याकल्टीमा अलि रिसर्च गर्ने द प्रोफेसर्स द असिस्टेन्ट प्रोफेसर्स सो हुन्छ नि पछि गएर इभन इफ आई वान्ट टु डु रिसर्च त्यो फिल्डमा मेबी विल बी अ बिट बेटर इफ आइम research. So this is general to research homework
right,
upon different aspects of college.
right, yeah, not like writing papers, but yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing a deep dive, and
yeah,
specifically to your university, and a lot of times key student would say that they're like very preparation like the generic ones, and what I do is like very tailored. So you're going to a private liberal arts college, in US, and to university go specific. I'm saying, and we looked at even like the professors, which you have potentially you might be working with, doing research with, and all that. I need this space. He's saying, yeah. And then we did like multiple mock interviews, I guess. I need this space. Obviously,
yeah.
I would give you feedback after each mock interview. So, just like tell us about like, was there like just the mock interviews? Like, how surprised were you? And I obviously I was giving feedback on like each, the question for response,
Yeah.
how it was. So, just could you speak a little bit about that?
So mock interviews चाहिँ I think progressively अझै अलिक confident हुँदै गएँ म like compared to the first and like the last one we had before the visa. And I think that's like the mock interviews they were the most crucial part for my like preparing journey भनौँ न in that sense because हल्का like real life scenario नै replicate गर्न खोजौँ हामीले अनि one interesting thing is Ali cross questioning when you did a lot of cross questioning in like certain loopholes or like certain lacking factors that answers ma थियो so पछि like real day ma I was like kind of like I knew like मैले के चाहिँ भन्न ठिक हो कुन चाहिँ भन्न ठिक होइन so like I can avoid that cross questioning or like एउटा भनौँ न uncertainty factor त्यो हटाउने चाहिँ
Right. And I guess like I put you through the ringer, right? Like basically cross questioning, like but obviously above and beyond what like visa officer would ask, and he put a like to test your like kati samosa, and you were like very well prepared, and you really put in the work, and obviously you're a good student, and I mean you're going to a good school, very prepared, but then kudos to you, like the things I assigned to you and when I told you to do to me, you went above and beyond and you're very prepared. Yeah? And that's how like students should be, the two level preparation science. And it's gonna pay dividends not just for the visa, but going forward, Timrod was my university man, obviously. Okay, so now let's talk about the date of the interview. So how are you feeling that and I believe your interview was in the morning, right? And tell me how you're feeling how are you feeling that day?
So comparatively अलिक cold morning थियो चिसै थियो त्यो दिन so feeling wise त I wouldn't say like त्यस्तो nerve wracking in that घरबाट त थिएन तर अलिकति like after I went to the MBC after the queueमा बस्न थालेँ चाहिँ अलिकति like just the environment itself like not just myself तर अरू स्टुडेन्ट देखेर like त्यो अलिकति त्यो nerves चाहिँ आएको थियो जस्तो लाग्यो but then I think it slowly faded away afterwards. So overall, a very smooth environment, a very peaceful way of going through it.
Right. Okay. Ani so for the viewers, just so you know, American Embassy गएपछि चाहिँ एयरपोर्ट गएको हुन्छ त्यहाँ एयरपोर्टमा चाहिँ सेक्युरिटी स्क्रिनिङ जस्तै अब एक्सरेमा चाहिँ सामान हाल्नुपर्छ अनि then after that then you go to the waiting area where you get called. So generally चाहिँ अनि त्यस्तो हुन्छ. So let's talk about तिम्रो चाहिँ and by the way phone लान पाउँदैन phone चाहिँ they have to either not bring or हैन ती छोड्ने option पनि छ. अनि that process was like probably not too long हैन त्यति आजकल deadlines हैन
Yeah, no, it was very smooth. It was very smooth. The security guards were एकदमै properly well maintained अनि लाइक क्यूमा गयौँ अनि त्यसपछि हामीले सब चेकिङहरू सबै भयो त्यो कन्भेयर बेल्ट जस्तोमा सबै हुन्छ नि वालेट सालेट इफ देयर इज राख्यो अफकोर्स मोबाइल रहन पाउँदैन or any like you know any extra सबै ल्याउन मिल्दैन money and all is the fine तर
Right.
other than that चाहिँ I would suggest not to bring त्यो दिनलाई
Right.
अनि after that चाहिँ we went to like त्यो biometric वाला area.
Right. And did you have to do the biometric first?
Yeah. So I had to do my biometric to 4 fingers, thumb, wala kura,
Right.
for both my hands.
Right.
And then I submitted my passport, which they clicked and stuff like that. I-20. Actually, I submitted all DS-160, passport, and all the documents needed.
Okay, so while you're doing the fingerprint, I mean, you submitted all your document over, handed over there, everything you bought.
Yeah. So firstly, it was my fingerprints, and this which they asked for my documents. Give me just 1 minute.
Sure. Timro biometrics भएर document दिएपछि चाहिँ how long did you have to wait before you were called to your counter for the interview?
Oh, it was actually a very long process. So, okay, so I'll start from very beginning. Is first you make the line and this they ask you for the 3 of documents. And in my case, it was DS-160 form, the I-20, and my latest transcript, and of course the passport. So the bairako outside line is where the highway बाटोबाट देखिन्छ हैन त्यो अनि त्यसपछि after the documents are checked in त्यो passport को पछाडि they put a sticker with like your barcode and your DS-160 code and they take you inside and inside चाहिँ there's this conveyor belt खालको ठ्याक्कै airport setting where they check for your pockets and everything phone छ कि छैन भन्ने कुरा अनि त्यसपछि त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ you go in अनि त्यहाँ चाहिँ there is the outside seating area हैन तर त्यहाँ डाइरेक्टली बस्दैन so you go inside the hall you do your biometrics you know make sure your passport is checked in and त्यसपछि you come outside and you sit त्यो त्यहाँ बाहिरको सिटिङ हलमा अनि अब I guess depends on the queue as well तर मेरो केसमा चाहिँ बाहिर I sat for around 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. अनि भित्र चाहिँ अनि कति गर्नु पर्यो होला
भित्र चाहिँ भित्र was also very similar waiting time तर अब again it depends on the how long the interview is taking for other people as well so जति चाँडै अरूको भयो or जति ढिलो हो त्यहीमा डिपेन्ड गर्छ but a general assumption for mine was they around 10 to 15 minutes here so overall waiting time would be 20 to 30 minutes.
Gotcha.
After the biometric.
Gotcha. Okay.
भित्र गएपछि नि it's not a direct interview को scene so भित्र गएपछि पनि you have to wait so त्यता चाहिँ you wait standing हैन so it's basically अब त्यो हुन्छ नि एउटा रेगुलर नेपाली गभर्नमेन्ट अफिसमा जस्तै नागरिकता बनाउने जाने जस्तै it's like लाइन राख्दै हुन्छ त्यो भनौँ न पार जस्तो रोपले यसो डिभाइड गरेको हुन्छ अनि त्यसपछि and the thing that surprised me the most is like genuinely almost visa officerले question गर्ने सबै कुरा you listen and you listen to like the answers that people are saying as well so the privacy चाहिँ pretty much zero थियो and like the outcomes that people are getting is also very transparent so in that sense अलिकति nerve wracking नि हुन सक्छ because that day अलिकति हुन्छ नि there were not much approvals happening
right
so in that sense अब भनौँ न the person is maybe saying all the right answers and still not getting the visa भन्दाखेरि आफूलाई पनि स्ट्राइक हुन सक्छ but try to avoid that भन्छु म चाहिँ go with your game plan stick with your game plan अनि try to not get affected by the external environment.
Tell me all the documents you were carrying that day with you.
So of course the necessity document here which included the passport of course. For students you also need the latest transcript that you have done. So if you're taking a gap year then maybe also go +2 core results or if you're not taking a gap year then something that the school provides or whatever. Ani त्यसपछि the DS-160 confirmation wala page. The I-20 of course and then the service fee co receipt and other than that people also advise you to take so if you're not a full ride student then people advise you to take bank statements or like income statements that that verify that you have funds to sponsor yourself in USA so yeah any source of त्यो credibility login even though मेरो केसमा त्यो सोधेन like proof of funds at least in the interview round पछि मात्र सोधेको थियो so just to be safe like login हुन्छ but त्यो necessity चाहिँ त्यही passport TS160 I-20 service receipt all of that.
But now let's talk about the interview, so you
Yeah.
walked up to the counter, and your interview was approximately 2 minutes. And previously we have talked, and तिमीले अब के questionहरू सोधेको भनेर भन्यो, I don't know if you've
हजुर
fully recall the questions, but let me just kind of give you. So they asked you, is this your first time you're applying? Why are you choosing this college? They asked about the course, like your major, what your parents
हजुर
do, and
Yeah.
they also reconfirm if you went to a certain school in Nepal, and
Yep,
त्यसपछि and if you have ever traveled outside of Nepal, so त्यही questionहरू थियो,
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much like the orthodox questions that you see online or generally prepared गर्दाखेरि जे जे सोध्छ त्यही सोध्यो. There was not much outside the box खालको question चाहिँ केही सोधेन. Aside from the high school reconfirmation, I think that was just to make sure.
Right. That was I was a little bit surprised कि त्यो सोध्यो भनेर. So just walk us through. And so your question सोध्यो, so like
first matter, of course, they I think they asked, is this your first time applying money?
Right.
Which I think is what I heard from like मेरो पुरानो, like the people who went before me say like maybe multiple second time, third time apply गर्ने नै थियो.
Right.
So they just wanted to make sure this was my first time खालको. अनि त्यसपछि they immediately मेरो university, why this university खालको सोध्यो. त्यसमा चाहिँ I kind of just answered honestly भन्ने थियो. So like हुन्छ नि मेरो पढ्ने सब्जेक्ट यहाँ it's pretty good. It's a unique subject, so जुन यता अफर गर्छ भन्ने थियो. अनि secondly a good amount of aid नै दिएको थियो. So which
Right.
is like the honest answer in this case.
Right.
अनि thirdly चाहिँ मेरो अलिकति मैले त्यही कोर्सकै बारे भने अनि लिबरल आर्ट्स कलेज हो भनेर भने अनि लाइक द एडभान्टेजेस अफ द लिबरल आर्ट्स स्कुल भनेर एम्फसाइज गरेँ.
Right.
So it sounded very natural. मैले like memorize गरेर नै गएको थिइनँ. I mean I had researched about the school, but then to like phrase गर्ने चाहिँ I just did it normally.
Right.
Like so memorize answers चाहिँ अलिकति I heard a lot of students doing that, like एकदमै well furnished which well furnished too, which I think is a red flag because
Yes.
it really shows that you have like kind of memorized it खालको.
Yep.
So त्यो गरी general, it was not like एकदमै researched, but एउटा baseline सम्म चाहिँ मैले answer गर्न खोजेँ. त्यसपछि they asked about which other school you applied to, they asked it, by the way.
Hey, okay, I don't have that.
I think I forgot to mention this. अनि त्यसमा नि I had a couple of schools mentioned अनि त्यो पनि भने and then of course like the details about what my parents do. यो चाहिँ I would say अलिकति exact, don't really like try to vague answer दिनु भन्दा नि if you have specific amounts or like अलिकति precise answer दियो भने it sounds legitimate in that sense. अनि after that it was like USA बाहिर, I mean Nepal बाहिर कहाँ कहाँ गएको छ भन्ने क्वेसन थियो. अनि त्यो नि अब of course basic answer भइहाल्यो. अनि they reconfirmed मेरो high school को कुन हो भनेर. Yes, that was about it. Pretty not एकदमै thinker खालको क्वेसन कुनै नै थिएन.
Right.
So yeah, very smooth experience.
Right.
That was about it.
Ani, so anytime during the interview, where you thought, I know exactly which direction my response should go, मेरो answer, because we prepared for this one.
Yes, I think first question itself, like why this school भन्दाखेरि because we had research यति गरेको for that हुन्छ नि अब from like the school life, like campus life, the activities देखि लिएर academic side ma. So I think एकदमै smooth गएको थियो first question नि. अनि cross questioning नि केही भएन for any of my questions. It was just basic details that they asked. So yeah, it was good.
Quick question: were my interview difficult, or was the visa interview more difficult?
Definitely हजुरको marks. I think हजुरकोमा a lot of cross questioning was happening.
Right.
So I really had to think and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and you're really good on your feet. So I think I was very impressed during the mock interviews, and the way you responded, and which I mentioned that to you, obviously. Okay. So then तिम्रो चाहिँ let's talk about, so the minute interview भयो, but you were handed the pink slip, which is not a visa, So what did they tell you at the window when they? So tell me about that.
So basically, I looked over and basically it was like the yellow खालको slip थियो pink थियो अनि the visa officer चाहिँ like counterबाट ठ्याक्क pink लिएर she wrote something there
Okay.
so and then she told me end of interview मा चाहिँ तिम्रो case चाहिँ your case has been gone into administrative processing please give the following documents that is mentioned here भनेर थियो अनि apart from that of course the normal social media vetting वाला clause was also ticked so त्यो थियो अनि त्यसपछि after that I just said thank you officer have a good day भनेर गएँ so that was about it so त्यहाँ pink slip मा mention भएको documents चाहिँ immediately next day मैले गएर बुझाइहालेँ NIMB ब्याङ्कमा and then त्यो सबमिट गरेको actually the surprising case is त्यो सबमिट गरेको 1 week मै they asked for my social media handles के so the documents was already approved a long time back I think the social media vetting मै they took their time
so अनि तिम्रो त्यो जुन check mark गरे अब obviously there like list of documents हैन in that slip अनि तिम्रो चाहिँ अनि check mark चाहिँ अनि एउटा त के रे के check mark गरेको थियो एक्चुअली भन्नु त्यसमा उनीहरुले चाहिन्छ भने
like what documents were needed
right
so they asked for my bank statement and they asked for the tax clearance specific 3 years okay कतिको थियो and most like from what I taught after my interview like if you're not like a full ride student and even if you're paying like a small chunk of money अहिले चाहिँ अलिकति strict गरेको छ with the financials like just हजुरको बोलेकै भरमा भन्दा पनि they want some kind of external proof that you know you can actually sponsor your way through the 4 years of studies and you know not get into some illegal working stuff with like first second year so the extra proof say magna thalari cha alongside of course of the social media vetting it was implemented a long time back
अनि just to follow up on usma चाहिँ त्यो bank statement चाहिँ नि कति 2 वर्षको मागे थियो कि or longer than that कति मागे थियो तिमीलाई
I think it was 3 years
3 years okay अनि त्यो चाहिँ very next day नै तिमीले सबमिट गर्दै सकेको थियो
yeah so after the interview like biana sakeपछि I talked with the bank and they provided me with the bank statement and tax clearance thankfully we already had a घरमै printed form मै थियो अनि because of that next day नै NIMB द्वारामा गएर submit गरे
right and you are submitting these documents obviously NIMB bank किनभने त्यहाँ officially bank नै तिम्रो चाहिँ document ownerबाटै हुन्छ embassy को right
yes and the surprising thing is after the pink slip usually if it's just social media vetting they take your passport too in the embassy but for my case say NIMB बाट passport take गरे so the next day so after the interview I had the passport with me which is very
that's a hard case so the second day तिमीसँग passport उनीहरुले फिर्ता दियो तिमीलाई
No, so yeah, I submitted my passport NIMB while submitting my bank statement and tax.
तिम्रो interview पछि they handed you back your passport and then the next day when you're submitting तिम्रो चाहिँ यो जुन documentहरु चाहिँ you had to resubmit your passport okay got it अनि just about the bank statement so bankले चाहिँ अनि 3 years को चाहिँ transaction को सबै चाहिँ अब उनीहरुले चाहिँ print out गरेर दियो होला हैन
Yeah, अनि त्यो pink slip मा चाहिँ there was like a bank statement of 3 years with deposits and withdrawals भनेर थियो so they wanted a very transparent bank statement हुन्छ नि एकदमै they just wanted to check like immediate अब आजको भोलि नै large chunk of money आएको छ भने I think त्यो invalid हुन्थ्यो they wanted a consistent sum throughout the 3 years
and that's what they're looking out for main reason नै त्यही हो किनभने अब नेपालमा obviously one day deposit हरु गर्छ स्टुडेन्टहरुले अब त्यो गरेर देखाउँछ हैन सो उनीहरुलाई चाहिँ अब long trail हेर्नु छ अनि तिमीले एउटा ब्याङ्कको स्टेटमेन्ट गर्यो कि अरु ब्याङ्क आफ्नो obviously एउटा भन्दा बेसी अकाउन्टै होला ब्याङ्कको हैन सो कि मल्टिपल अकाउन्ट गरेको
No, multiple account got it, but मेरो केसमा चाहिँ अलिक सजिलो थियो in the sense that most of my parents' accounts are based upon one singular bank rather than like spread out.
Okay.
So even though multiple accounts भए पनि it is just from a single bank, so मलाई अरु बैंकसँग चाहिँ कुरा गर्नु पर्यो.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah. Ani, let's see. So just to clarify for students who are listening, administrative processing section 221G चाहिँ त्यो भने चाहिँ अब भिजा डिनायल हैन खाली के भन्न खोजेको चाहिँ एडिशनल रिभ्यूमा छ केस अनि सेक्युरिटी चेक डकुमेन्टेसन रिक्वायरमेन्ट हुन्छ जस्तै भर्खर स्टुडेन्टले भनेको जस्तै गरेर त्यो हो सो अनि दिस इज लाइक भेरी कमन नेपालमा आई थिङ्क स्ट्रेट अप भिजा पाउन एकदमै गाह्रै छ आई डोन्ट नो लाइक आई थिङ्क म जति सुनेको छु रिसेन्टली पिङ्क स्लिप नै देखिरहेको छु अनि बट you knew about the pink slip right, before walking in. So were you surprised when you got the pink slip, or what was your reaction?
No, I knew that if my visa outcome were to be approved, then I would get the pink slip because oily trend a green slip for an F1 student is pretty much non-existent. It's an exceptional case. Even if they're not asking also the financial document, a pink slip is also for social media vetting.
Right.
So regardless, you're getting a pink slip. So green slip, it's an exception, especially Jan of this year, really.
Right.
With all of the bonds and stuff for visiting visas.
Right.
Deliver the thing too, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Ani, I think didn't they reach out to you much later after the interview for social media ko usko lagi media links and everything?
So reaching out for media links was actually not that far away because if you think about it, like working days ko hisabma chahi like there were bits of sutti ni pareको थियो weekends hरुले गर्दाखेरि within like 6 to 10 working days they had asked for my social media handle. Okay.
Right.
Ani I provided them email which is strange because DS160 I had mentioned it.
Right.
Social media
right.
But they wanted the links itself.
Right.
So my Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube ani what else, Facebook ko pathade.
Okay.
Ani after that त्यसपछि there was no acknowledgement, but I mean I assumed that the email went. किनभने ठ्याक्कै रिप्लाई गरेको थियो अनि त्यसपछि after that it was a waiting game किनभने त्यसपछि there was no update to के अरे वेबसाइटमा नि it was just के अरे administrating processing भन्दै थियो.
Right.
अनि अरूमा नि खासै इमेलमा नि they didn't have a follow up,
Right.
त्यो थियो, so it was just a waiting game.
Right. So again, एक महिना लाग्यो तिम्रो हैन. So from the your interview was like end of February मा तिम्रो you got the visa like end of March तिर हैन. So 1 month हैन. अनि त्यसपछि I mean that's a lot of uncertainty हैन. Like how was that waiting time for you?
Waiting time in a particular sense was not that of a even like I was pretty confident in a certain extent in the sense that because मेरो financial approved भइसक्यो भनेर I had assumed. Because if my financials weren't approved, मेरो social media first of all माग्दैन थियो.
Right.
So after that and social media पनि I mean I'm not त्यस्तो active like posting wise as well, so
right.
they wouldn't really find much social media as well.
Right.
So मेरो of course त्यो अब frequently every day भनौँ न उठेपछिदेखि लिएर बेलुका सुत्नुभन्दा पहिला एउटा चेकिङ अपडेट एउटा रुटिनमा इन्टिग्रेट भयो, but rather than that it was very smooth.
Right.
त्यही हो मेरो केस अलिकति it was a bit unique because usually 1 to 2 weeks maximum लाग्छ.
Right.
From a pink slip to an approval.
Right.
I guess I had to wait another 2 weeks for that, so yeah.
Ani, what was that moment like when you finally got your stamped passport with US visa?
It was a relief,
right.
First of all. But,
yeah.
I had to immediately, through a regular US interview, something looks like, you get the pink slip and after 2 days you get the approval. So most of your emotions are already like done into interview moment.
Right.
But since my waiting time to like, it was a relief firstly, and I was happy I informed my parents. Grandparents from both mom and dad side.
Right.
And with like, the current scenario, the visa for any country it's a bit uncertainty regardless of your background Monday.
Yep.
So 22, but then a relief bio and overall a very good.
Yeah, it is. It is very difficult to get visa. I mean, even like, and you're a very good student, I know. And you're going to good school. You're a very good student. So for somebody like you, pani abo yati garo gardiरहेछ हैन, like in the past this would be very automatic.
Yeah.
हैन, so त्यो हुनाले चाहिँ just the way it is. But on the upside, I mean, And you can proudly say that even that during that time I was able to get visa on 10 years down the road.
Yeah. That seems like a good.
What advice they should know before they walk in to that embassy?
Of course, there is the basic our memorized answers or I try to avoid. Try to just think of it as not an interview, but rather like a conversation once more thing.
Right.
Because visa officer just wants to know that you are a legitimate student. Right? You don't want to do any illegal or like unethical things in the USA or any other country in that matter. Right? आणि take it as a conversation. Make sure your answers are true. अनि अलि well research भएर गयो भने चाहिँ helps a lot. Research in not just हुन्छ नि your university but the general of the United States curriculum. This doesn't just help like हजुरको भिजाको केसमा but overall हजुरको यो university enter भएपछि too. So yeah, just honest and like good answers, like answers which are not memorized but rather well researched. And think of it as a conversation, which helps a lot. Like, nervous, of course, the environment itself is a bit tense. That I won't lie. Because again, I said that you hear the conversations happening, you hear these officers giving outcomes in real life. So, त्यो पनि external factors don't let it distract you in any sense. You stick with your game plan and then you execute your game plan. So yeah, Theo. And then overall, they follow better. And I think you should be good.
No, those are very good advice.
Yeah.
Good. So also, like if somebody's watching this, would you recommend them to get visa preparation with me?
Yeah, 100%. Mazurko is a very practical approach. Like, I think the main problem in Nepal, like, I wouldn't say all, but like many like educational consultancies चाहिँ approach अलिकति wrong approach गर्छ. Visa को लागि they try to make sure हुन्छ नि एकदमै pitch perfect answer होस्, हुन्छ नि एकदमै pitch perfect replies होस्, which sounds a bit robotic. हुन्छ नि robotic हुन्छ. अनि the visa officers, they have been doing this for ages now, and they can kind of filter through हुन्छ नि the background अनि कतिको चाहिँ like legitimate accurately answer गरिरहेको छ like आफ्नै रिसर्चबाट. So हजुरको चाहिँ it's a totally alternative way. Like you actually make sure firstly I'm understanding मेरो जानलाई university like curriculum, the credits I need to fulfill the degree, which I think apart from visa also helps because now I know that classes I need to take from different subject areas and stuff like that. But then the mock interviews also is like a bit practical, like the basic orthodox question also you tend to ask only poking questions which makes you think. So like worst case scenario at least you prepared well enough embassy man. Like regardless of how different approach the visa officer might take भन्ने कुरा हो. So yeah, overall I would suggest a student to take your prepare classes, and more to visa prepare classes भन्दा नि I would probably call it like overall US university को लागि एउटा guide जस्तो, which is like a bundle, not just visa services but हुन्छ नि हजुरको overall shape up गर्नलाई to train for the college life.
And that's kind of what I want. Thank you for that. I really appreciate your honest feedback. And and that's what I want. अब मेरो perspective different because I'm a professor and मेरो काम पढाउने हो नि त स्टुडेन्टहरुलाई and I want to see them succeed. So and that's the point of view I come from and I want them to succeed, not just visa like I said, but succeed in US because मेरो चाहिँ one of the reasons I do I advise students is because I went through many challenges as an undergrad student, as a grad student, and then now I'm a professor. And I'm trying to share my experiences, so they don't have to go through that. And this is also extension of like my workshops, which I do, which timle attend garcha, but I'm Kathmandu आइपुग्छु in like few weeks. So मेरो workshopहरु चाहिँ अनि previously अब Harvard गएको स्टुडेन्टहरु they have like attended that and they found it very helpful. So generally चाहिँ एकदमै कस्टम टेलर गरेर गर्छु मैले चाहिँ हैन. सो तिमी सर्टेन युनिभर्सिटी गएर चाहिँ त्यो युनिभर्सिटी करिकुलम कस्तो छ, तिनीहरुको युनिक फिचर्स कस्तो छ भनेर, and which takes a lot of time. अनि त्यही भएर people they're not capable of doing it because एक सिस्टम बुझ्नु पर्यो, which I understand हैन. अनि त्यसपछि so and yeah, like the issue with like these consultancies तिमीले भन्यो नि like
हजुर
त्यो visa officer at this point they can probably tell based on answer response कुन consultancyबाट आयो भनेर के हैन
yeah very much एकदमै नै memorized हुन्छ like why this university or why this course
Right.
like so
Yeah, and what I do, it takes a lot of time from my end also, and that's why I don't do it for too many students. And it's mid after research गर्नुपर्छ because obviously I don't know about the university that you are going ni हैन अनि त्यसपछि त्यो त then I have to start from scratch and like do my research and come up with हैन अनि a lesson plan pretty much के अनि then त्यो भएपछि चाहिँ अनि at least नेपालमा भएको चाहिँ not many people maybe they might know how to do it, but at the same time it takes a lot of effort to do it, and I really enjoy the process also because as an academian भएर चाहिँ कस्तो छ भने चाहिँ मलाई अरू युनिभर्सिटीहरूको अमेरिकामा अब कसरी उनीहरूको चल्छ हैन उनीहरूको करिकुलम कस्तो छ मेरो युनिभर्सिटी भन्दा कसरी डिफरेन्ट छ हैन I'm very curious about that, so I really enjoy it also हैन. So yeah, thanks for that. So closing question, so I guess there's like some time between now and you going to US हैन अब अर्को 3-4 महिना 3 महिनै छ भनौँ न हैन अगस्त मिड अगस्ततिर जान्छौ. So yeah, like, so what are you looking forward to? What are you most excited once you reach US? Like, what are you looking forward to?
Generally just the uni experience itself. I'm looking forward to that. Of course, the academic side, the value, but apart from that, of course, the clubs, the sports. Do you need any, the specific uni I'm going to this now? International students, there is a good chunk. So, there are like different orientations designed for international students. So I think just to network and talk with a lot of people from different backgrounds itself is also a good experience. Overall, I'm excited to aspect now our new chapter, new journey. Already excitement of my health. So yeah, there you go.
No, it's a really exciting time because and you should be, because from experience, I had a great university experience. I went to a similar like small liberal arts college like you're going, and which is a very different environment. And like there are some amazing things waiting for you there. And academic side mapani amazing. You're gonna have like amazing professors will be teaching you and a lot of fun things and a lot of interesting curriculum. And then social aspect देखि लिएर student life mapani there's like a lot of interesting things. So yeah, I think you're gonna have a great journey and obviously we'll be in touch. So and yeah, you're always welcome to reach out to me and any question and we'll be talking. But and yeah, Kathmandu, so I'll be in Kathmandu end of April. And so we'll also do like we'll be meeting up and we're gonna do further like workshops together, and then I'm gonna guide you more on Americaको बारेमा चाहिँ. So there you go. Thanks for making time for this, and I think I really enjoyed this conversation.
Also, yeah, same here. Thank you for the guidance, of course. I also really enjoyed the process.
Wonderful. Thank you. For expert guidance, go to weberacademy.org.